What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we, the people, choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
The sweet emotion raining all over me. I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again. If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this: never, ever give up. The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider. Embrace that label. Being an outsider is fine. Embrace the label. Because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward. We will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again.
We did. We won bigly. I can't believe it happened. It just feels like so like not real. You know what I mean? Like I'm still trying to have it sink in because I'm just like, I think I literally have PTSD from 2020 with all the fraud we saw. I remember staying up to like, God, it was almost 4 a.m. in 2020. I stayed up pretty late in 2 days ago when it was like 3 a.m. I think it was close to 3 a.m. It was close to 3. It was like I made it halfway through Trump's victory speech, and it was like I couldn't take one more second. Like I was so effing tired. I'm like, I can't do it. I'll have to watch the victory speech tomorrow. But in 2020, just the PTSD, I'm just like, it was like I wanted to believe, but I'm like, how? Like I just, it's hard to wrap my head around it. You know what I mean? You don't have a word for it. Like it's not actually going to happen, is it? Yeah, what's going on, Robert? Appreciate you posting that. Katomi, how you doing? How you been? How's the streams going? We are monitoring the Kerry Lake thing. Looks like Nevada. Let's go to where's my. Let me share my screen real quick. How do I do this? There we go. So the U.S. has the majority, which is great. I mean, the GOP. I might as well say the U.S. GOP has the majority. I'm very excited about the future. Very optimistic. And I can't believe I'm saying that for the first time in a long time. It's going to be good. We're excited. We're going to keep going with our political stuff until Trump's actually in office, but we are going to be covering a lot of pop culture stuff. I'm going to be getting back to my gaming streams. It's going to be fun. And then we'll crank up the political stuff next election, but I do want to focus on a different battle. We're not out of it yet, so we're not going to talk about that just yet, but a lot of people have called this race. Sam Brown, who's a veteran who got very, very injured, to say the least, fighting for our country. He's a hero. I would like to see him win. A lot of people are saying it's not going to pan out. But AP hasn't called it yet. We'll see. We'll monitor it, and we'll see what happens. But it's not looking great. But it's also Nevada. Nevada's freaked. Kerry Lake, with every drop she's been climbing. If you guys been watching since election night, she was down like 10 points, and then 9 points, and then 8 points, and 7, and now she's within 1. So it's really up to Maricopa County now, which is not great. Because they have not been we know Maricopa County, if you guys been following 2020. That's how I got my start on this channel. I'm not even from Arizona, but I was so involved and intrigued with what was going on in Arizona after 2020. That's when I started my channel, just to talk about it, just to rant about it. So we'll see. 76% reporting. What is Arizona doing? Look at Florida. It's always going to say 99%. It's going to say 99% for like the next year, but it's 100%. Florida was done. Florida got done their counting in 3 hours, went out for beers and had a good time. Everybody else is still Florida, dude. Compared to Arizona, like, what are you guys doing? Texas is literally done counting. All these massive, I mean, California's taking a very long time, but we know why. All these massive states are done counting, and Arizona is only at 76%. What the hell? And they would say, like, oh, well, they just want to make sure they're doing their job right and all that. So, okay, well, it's like you put all these machines in, these satellite stations and all this shit to make it faster, more accurate, but it takes literally 10 times as long as it used to take. And we're more unsure than ever if the result is the real result. So maybe digitizing everything is not the way. And once upon a time, Democrats did not want these machines. We have PBS did a special on how vulnerable they are John Oliver did a special on how vulnerable they are. There's a documentary on HBO right now called Kill Chain, which I recommend go watching. It's all about how our election machines are so easy to hack into. You can't trust them. So you can't trust them. The security sucks on them, and they take 10 times as long to count than what we used to do. So why is this better? I would just like to talk to like secretaries of states, Democrats who like want this stuff. Like, why? Explain to me right now, why is this better? What is the benefit? It's not efficiency because it takes 10 times as long. It's not security. What is it? Yeah, I heard that they counted it a second time just for the hell of it. I wasn't expecting to take 3 all branches. I think it just goes to show how tired everyone was of crap. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just want to change. A lot of people weren't even like super gung ho about Trump. They were just like, look, I can't. Gas prices are higher than ever before. Grocery prices are higher than ever before. Insurance, inflation, nobody can afford a house. Everything is worse. So even though they're like, I'm not super gung ho for Trump, I'm going to just vote for the other side because everything sucks. So why not give the other guys a shot? And the main reason, let's go to the presidential real quick. AP still didn't call the other races for Trump, but we know he's at least 316. Why can I not scroll? There we go. Kamala Harris. Okay, hold on. Sorry. You voted for a president the first time this election. Wow, really? We have a lot of first-time voters. A lot of first-time voters this time around. Everyone I voted for won the race. Feels good, man. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I almost voted Democrat for the first time in my life because I wanted Brian Fitzpatrick in PA to lose because I do not like him. But Trump, begged almost for everybody to please just vote down ballots. So at the last minute, I'm like, you know what? I'll vote for him. I didn't like it. But my brother was like, because I usually go vote with my family. My brother's like, what the hell is taking you so long? I'm like, I was debating if I was going to vote Democrat out of spite for the first time in my life, just because I didn't want him to win. I was like with my pen, like hovering over it for the longest time. I'm like, am I actually going to do this? But it also just didn't feel right to fill in that oval. So I ended up not doing it. But I was tempted. I was close. I was very close. Virginia was close. It was in play. Pennsylvania was really the kicker. That's what really did her in. What's going on, Scarlett? How you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. How you been? New York, that's 10 points. Trump cut that in half. People were like, oh, she still won by double digits. Yeah, but this is a Republican getting within 10 points. Even California, look at all the counties he won. Trump won 10 extra counties from 2020. That's huge. And it makes me think that California, might take 1, maybe 2 more election cycles, but will eventually be in play. But also we'll see what happens. But again, everyone just tuning in, we're pretty much just going to be hovering over Nevada, but mostly Arizona tonight to see what they do. I mean, AP still didn't call for Trump, but everybody else called for Trump, so it's ridiculous. But we're mainly just focusing on the Senate race. For Carrie Lake, she's close. She's pulling closer with every ballot drop, so we'll see what happens. We have where am I at? Where the hell's let's see the individual states. Arizona. There we go. Pretty much everyone in Arizona, Eli, or they AP is really slow with calling stuff. They still didn't call Eli Crane. They called Andy Biggs, obviously. Pogozar. Shit. Abe Hamadeh, which was the big one. Abe Hamadeh was pretty much right there with Kerry Lake all the way there. That's huge for him to win that. And just so you know, he was only 200 votes, literally 200 votes away from being Secretary of State, which is massive. Yeah, I really want to. We're gonna watch that. I don't think we're gonna get any kind of answer tonight, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, Abe Hamadeh, he had a crazy race where he, quote unquote, lost by 500 and something votes. They did a recount, and then he only lost by 200 votes, which is insane. But at least he got in there with congressmen, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, Bob Casey hasn't conceded. There's some news on that. Here, oops, not the House. Was AP? It's funny. AP's not AP's not calling anything tonight, or really for the last 2 days. But they called Dave McCormick. But other people are not calling Dave McCormick, which is weird. But he's pulling ahead, 98% in. They have lawyers involved right now, trying to flip it back. A little bit of an upset was Royce White. I didn't think he was going to win. It was a long shot. He was, other than the NBA, he was the 16th overall pick, so he's a huge basketball player, NBA. But in politics, he wasn't known much. Didn't get the Trump endorsement, which is fine. Trump can't endorse everybody. But not that bad for a basically lifelong Democrat politician who's been in there forever, Amy Klobuchar. It's hard to stick out a very, very well-known incumbent, but for being an absolute nobody with no funding, no backing, no support, he didn't do that bad. He most likely will not run again. I mean, he's in a crap state, so what's he going to do? But he has a great show. If you guys check out Real America's Voice, 9 a.m. Saturdays he's on. It's an absolute excellent show. I was rooting for him, but it was a long shot. It was close. We do have some update on PA. Like this right here. Let me show you guys this on California. Like this is huge. Look at the counties Trump flipped. Trump's the first Republican in since Reagan to actually like make a dent in blue states. California was an effing stronghold. Looking from 2020 to 2024, won 10 extra counties. Erie County. I thought Erie County flipped the red. Did they flip it back? Oh, I can't click. I wish their maps, like, you can't click on the individual counties. It was red, at least for a while, at least part of the night. Yeah, it's funny because they're like, "Oh, now that you won, or do you trust the elections now?" It's like, no, I don't trust the elections. I don't trust the elections at all. Are you kidding me? And there was fraud all night, but the RNC were suing the Democrats out the ass throughout the entire night, and they won just about every single case. Every single case. We had Pennsylvania counties, Bucks County, Cambridge County, a few other counties that were doing shenanigans all night. They were sued by the RNC. Credit to them. And the RNC won. And they had to extend voting hours, and they had to do all this stuff to accommodate voters that they disenfranchised. So they tried. Everyone's like, "Oh, there's no fraud." Was there? No, there's plenty of fraud, but we had our lawyers ready. There's over 600 Republican lawyers all across the country suing nonstop, still suing now to keep them in check. Yeah, way too many eyes on this election. They also didn't have COVID to block it. They couldn't kick out poll watchers. There are literally thousands of extra poll workers on our side to throughout the country. We have over 600 lawyers. We have teams all over the place. So it was our ground game was like 110% over 2020. But we'll see how these few. They're like, all right, we lost. We got our. It was a landslide. I was wrong about that. If you guys follow me on X, I've said over and over, it's not going to be a landslide. Forget it. It's going to be by a handful of votes, and I was wrong. It was a freaking landslide. I hope Trump's smart about some of his picks, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, Robert, I was going to talk about that. They're all these Democrats like, wait a minute. Where did these 15 million voters go? What, did they go to sleep? Did they not? I mean, like, what happened? It's like, yeah, it is weird. Where did they go? I'm like, it's almost like that. I don't know. They didn't exist. Yeah, like this is wild. Can I make that bigger? I guess not. So Ruben Gallego is apparently getting very, very close to becoming more popular than Trump in Arizona. How is it that there are so many people that voted for Trump, and then they decide, you know what, I love Trump, he's great, but I'm also going to vote for this radical Democrat? You don't vote for Trump and then vote for the radical Democrat. It'd be different if he was a little more like middle of the road, a little bit more like fair on some things, not too far left, but it's like super far left radical dude. There's no way. Something's afoot. But we'll see. Oh, speaking of the 81 million votes, I just saw this pop up now. Joe Rogan actually commented on it. This is what I was talking about.
What do you think about that thing I sent you today that compares the number of people that voted in 2020 versus the number of people that voted in 2024 and in 2016?
Sure does look strange.
And in 2012. Have you seen it, Jamie? Yeah. It's so crazy. You look at it and you go, is this real? Oh, here it is. Because it doesn't seem to make any sense, because this is like one of the most consequential elections ever. I think everybody's pretty aware of that. And everybody is very dug in on their side. The left, he's Hitler. The right, he's saving us. And so more people voted, at least the indication would be as much people voted in 2020, if not more, probably more people voted. But let's look at the numbers. Like, look at the difference in how many people voted for Biden in 2020. It's unprecedented. It's way higher than any other time since 2012. And I'm sure probably before that, there was less people back then, right? So if you go back to when I was a kid, there was only like 200 million people in this country.
Yeah, and to be clear, 2012 and 2016 were not low turnout years.
No, they're
Like,
all consistent.
yeah.
This is what's crazy. They're consistent. Look, they're all like 60.
Yeah,
look at where
60,
the number is. It's all like 65 million. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
So that's all the same every fucking time except 2020. In 2020, it goes way the fuck up.
Where did they go?
Like 80 what? Is it 82? Is that what it was?
It's like 81 and change.
81.
Yeah.
So it goes up a fucking sizable chunk.
Yeah, like, where did they go? Everyone's like, oh, they weren't just motivated. No, both sides, Republican and Democrat, were more motivated to vote this election than ever before. Now, if you said a few thousand, maybe you said 1 million, I'll even said like 5 million, I'll give you that. But almost 20 million just decide, I don't care. I went out to vote during COVID, during the lockdowns, when everyone's sick, puking all over the place. But 2024, nah, I'm just going to stay home. Forget about it. Come on. Something's not right here. And I hope that the Democrats keep pushing. I hope all the individual Democrats, the voters, the higher ups, all be like, yo, where do these votes go? I don't like it. I'll be like, hey, I don't like it either. Let's do an audit. I'm fine with that. Let's do a full audit. Yeah, the red wave. That's why I hated people saying the red wave. I'm like, stop saying that. Come on. Because there was no red wave. It was exact opposite. But, people get cocky. Now, apparently, this is wild. We're kind of shifting gears a little bit before we go over to Rumble, and then we're going to talk about some more things over on Rumble. But I'll play this last clip for you where, of all people, Chris Cuomo taking on Maxine Waters kind of shutting down her claims of everything being racist. Yeah, exactly, Robert. Exactly. I hope the Democrats push for it, because they say, like, hey, we don't trust this. We want to audit. I'm like, I'm right with you. Let's do it.
What is the lesson that your party should have learned?
Well, the Democratic Party worked very hard, and they raised, substantial sum of money. We had great candidates, and so Trump had a following, basically generally led by whites. White males voted in big numbers. He had a few from the other race groups that joined in, like the Latinos at 45%, and black men at about the same rate that they did when they voted for him before at about 20%. That combination won.
That is
And
record
so
numbers
it is
for the
not
black
that
vote.
Democrats did not work hard, did not do a great job. We had an unusual situation where we had a black woman, which this country has never seen before.
Because, you know, the only demographic that Trump dropped in were white people. That was it. The only demographic that Trump got less votes in was white people. But well, how'd he win then? He skyrocketed with Hispanics, and he got a record number of votes from mainly black males, more than any other Republican in history. Usually Republicans get around that 10, 11% every single year. Trump got around 20% this time, which is huge.
For a combination of all of those things led to his win.
I will not push back on the idea that race and sex matter in American politics. I think they do. I don't know that it was the controlling variable, and you don't suggest otherwise. To me, it seemed to be that the Democrats thought Trump stinks is enough. And Senator Bernie Sanders said something that reminded me of you, which is why I wanted you on the show tonight, Maxine, which is Democratic Party used to be, we are all about doing for working people. That's what we do. That's what Mario Cuomo's party, that's what Maxine Waters' party was. You are now seen as not that, even by Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Not the best take, but fair take. She's crazy. I can't believe she's still alive, dude. She's like a walking corpse. She looks horrible. Yeah, the name call. I mean, maybe calling half of Americans Nazis, calling them trash, deplorables, irredeemables. They didn't want their vote. It's the first time I've ever seen that in political history. Normally, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you try to get everybody's vote because you need it. And Trump tried that. Trump has never insulted Hillary supporters. He's never insulted Bernie supporters or Biden supporters, Kamala supporters. He's never insulted the people ever. He said time and time again he wants everybody, Republican, Democrats, everybody on his side. He said, I'm your president, the American president. Biden never did that. Kamala didn't do that. Hillary didn't do that. He said, no, F you, you're deplorables, you're Nazis, you're the worst. And go figure that then and sit well with people. Instead of trying to earn their vote, instead of trying to understand why some people might not agree with their platform, they decide to insult them, to bury them, arrest them. You have to try to understand your other side. Like, okay, these people don't like me, but I would end up being their president if I won. Why don't they like me? What do they want? You know, they didn't try to look at the working class. Like, okay, maybe people are just pissed off that they can't afford things. Maybe because inflation, gas prices, grocery prices skyrocketing, they can't afford things. Maybe it's not about race. Maybe it's not about gender. Maybe they're just really upset that they can't afford things and try to be sympathetic towards it. No, they said, let's insult everybody. If you don't agree with us, you're racist, you're sexist, you're homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, whatever it was. Like Hillary Clinton said, you name it. It's one of the main reasons they lost. And if they keep that up, they're going to lose again and again and again. You can't insult half of America and expect to win their vote, to win. They're never going to do it ever again. Yeah, Trump insulted the people he's running against, and he never swung the first punch. He never swung the first punch. That's why everyone said, "Oh, Trump's mean. Trump's not." I'm like, where was Trump ever mean? Show me one tweet where he was mean. He always retaliates, but he doesn't swing the first punch, which is what you should do. Like, I consider myself a nice guy. I don't like to be confrontational. I don't like to get in fights with people. But if you take a swing at me, I'm going to swing at you back. And that's what Trump. They're going to be so mean. He's so nasty. I'm like, where's this meanness? Where's this nastiness? I don't see it. He's not mean. He's firm. He's strong. He doesn't let you push him over. But we'll see. We got a lot more to get to, but we're gonna head over to Rumble. We're a little over time. So yeah, everybody watching on the other platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and all that. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, follow for more content. I'm at Patriotic_Cav on all social media. And we're gonna head over to Rumble only. It is pinned on it's on my X, it's on my YouTube. Thanks, Robert. And yeah, we'll see you guys over there again at Patriotic_Cav. Everything's linked in the description below, including my Rumble. And we're gonna head over to Rumble only now. We try to give them a little bump. Try to give Rumble all we can. So because they've done a lot for us. So yeah, we'll see you guys over there. Thanks, guys, for watching on the other platforms, but we're going to Rumble only.